wanted to get that out of the way. Before you even attempt to talk to a girl, to girls, the first thing I think you need to work on is your confidence. I want to speak about this because, like, let's just say you are probably antisocial, a hermit, a turtle. Maybe you're really shy. So that's the reason why I need to talk about building up your confidence first before you even attempt to talk to a girl. And here are my tips or advice or, yeah, whatever you want to, whatever resonates with you. You know what I mean? Maybe you're already confident and you can skip this step. So if it doesn't apply to you, then just skip this video. I don't want to waste your fucking time. But I think for a lot of guys, I think it is kind of relevant simply because even for me, I feel like it's intimidating to talk to a girl when she's fucking, like, especially me. I go for, people out of my league. So, for that reason, I know I need to, have my shit together before I walk up to this person. You know what I mean? But the whole tidbit about being genuine, that's for sure. That's absolutely correct. Where or how to build confidence. Now, I don't want to, go too off topic, but this is something random that I might suggest, because who knows, maybe if you take this advice, you might go down a completely different path. One way to build confidence, I would say, is to probably start by getting yourself a girl doll. That way, instead of, obviously, you could practice, a speech in front of a mirror, or you could start a YouTube channel and build your confidence that way, because then you can see, study or look back on your videos and be like, okay, I don't look good like this. I look better when I'm standing up straight. I need to project my voice better, my body language, these are things that you notice about yourself. It's rude to check your watch. It's rude to look at your phone when you're with somebody. These are the things that go together with body language. But when I talk about, girl dolls, see, this is different from, looking at yourself in a video or looking at yourself in the mirror. Because obviously you're looking at yourself. If you want to talk to a girl, practice by talking to a doll. A girl doll first. Right? And then of course they have sex dolls, but those are expensive. So that's why I'm just saying, you get a realistic looking girl doll. In the meantime, that way you can practice and build your confidence so that way you can get all the nervousness out of your body, out of your system, and you can practice. Also, let's just say, when I was in Berlin and I went to the need to work on my facial expressions. When I went to that meetup group, I was like, how to talk to a girl. That was the meetup group. And I was the only girl. Because work smarter, not harder, right? Because I already knew that fucking meetup group was going to be all fucking guys, right? I was the only girl, so I eliminated the competition because I worked smarter, not harder. Because I'm a fucking genius, duh. And I told you I walked out of there with 2 guys. Anyway, I know I just like to brag, right? I mean, do I really need to? No, I don't need to attend a group like that to end up with two guys. It's just something to do. But, anyways, in a foreign country, you could get your nerves out by practicing talking to a girl by practicing on a doll. Now, I don't even want to go into the whole haunted shit, because then you're gonna be like, oh, let me just get a succubus. Let me just summon a succubus and just like get straight to the point, you know. But like, supposedly, I guess succubi are harmful to men. But anyways, that's a whole different topic, so I'm not even gonna go there. The whole point is to build your confidence, and I'm giving you ideas how to build your confidence. So you could like join a public speaking group like Toastmasters. You could build your confidence by joining meetup groups, going to body language fucking classes, courses, reading about body language. There's that I think it's like Joe Navarro. He has a bunch of like body language books. One is like how to spot a liar or whatever. Now liars are like a completely different topic because you have to like study the cluster of behaviors. You have to establish like baseline behavior, etc. But we're not talking about that right now. The point is to find ways to build your confidence. This is just like for the ultimate beginner, for a guy who's fucking clueless and has no idea what the fuck to do in terms of females, because like females are just so intimidating. I mean, I'm talking about a female that's completely out of your league, right? And this is I'm not talking about strippers, not talking about prostitutes, sugar babies, gold diggers, people looking for men with money. I'm just talking about like the real, authentic, down to earth girl next door, like the real person, a real girl. Although many girls are liars. I mean, people in general lie. Like, humans, babies, start lying even when they're babies. So it's just like a survival instinct, I suppose. Even animals lie. So, and the reason why I say this is because obviously, if a girl is in one of those industries or does one of those things, like maybe she has a sugar daddy or, you know, takes her clothes off in whatever the fuck she does, maybe she's a OF model, etc. You don't know these things, and they're probably not gonna like willingly come out and tell you about it. But like, obviously, if a bitch is really fucking photogenic and really fucking like drop dead gorgeous, it's probably because she relies on her beauty for her income, whether she's a fucking sugar baby, etc. So I'm talking about the real girls who actually work for a living, like are slaves to a job, whatever, right? Have some sort of respectable profession. I'm just talking about these normal chicks. Not like, because obviously strippers are fucking professional liars. And that's not, you know, wifey material. I mean, I don't want to like offend people, but actually, no. I take that back. My goal as an entertainer, a content creator, is to offend everybody. Because everybody's so easily offended. But yeah. Females are very complicated, but it doesn't really have to be. And the reason why I say it's complicated, because like, first of all, I just told you about all those other extra things, right? Sugar babies, gold diggers, like, I'll give you an example. When I was owning my condo in Puerto Rico, one of my fucking roommates, that she was a Libra, this bitch wrote all over my fucking mirrors her fucking how to secure a sugar daddy game plan. I'm not even like playing around, like this shit was real. This bitch wrote all over my fucking mirrors. Oh, she was gonna like do her nails, wax her legs, etc. Like she wrote all this shit all over my fucking mirrors. Obviously, she didn't stick and last long as my roommate. And she also burned my fucking bathroom counter. And she didn't say anything about it. She had a rag just like on this one spot. Because I had like 2 bathrooms. One in my room, one in the hallway, which was like everybody's bathroom. So that was the bathroom that she used. And I noticed there was a rag covering a spot. And it was always in that same spot. And one day I lifted up the rag, and sure enough, she burnt that spot with like a curling iron or some sort of like, hairstyling device. She made a fucking mark on my fucking counter, and she didn't say anything until I confronted her about it. She's like, oh yeah, I was gonna go fix it. I was like, when were you gonna fucking tell me? Cabrona. Anyways, yeah, she didn't last long. I've had a lot of experiences. I even had one black guy living with me. Yeah, it was... And even worse, like, I didn't want to be, like, racist. So, like, I just wanted to give everybody a fair shake. But anyways, the history with this guy... I knew this before I allowed him into my house, okay? I knew that he was, like, an ex-con. And he went to jail for shooting his wife in the face. Yeah, I'm so fucking crazy, right? But I told you, like, this is my psychopath talk for today. Like, we do some crazy shit, like psychopaths. So, yeah. Because at the time, I just wanted free labor. I was like, free room in exchange for labor. That was basically the Craigslist ad that I put out. So, yeah, I have a lot of crazy, random experiences to tell you about, like that. So yes, I have lived with a black ex-con who shot his fucking ex-wife in the face. Why would I allow that person into my home? Why? I don't know. I just but now I can talk about it. I lived to talk about it, obviously. Obviously, that guy did not last long either. He was a fucking pathological liar. He lied about everything. He said he was, like, celibate, etc. Yeah. He was just full of shit. This is why I just talked about liars, because, like I said, everybody's a fucking liar. Especially strippers, they're fucking professional liars, actors, I don't like actors. Everybody's a fucking liar, which is why I have no friends. I'm friends with dead people, right? So anyways, and even spirits lie, so... But anyway, that's a whole different video. Let me stop this video because I need to fucking